Welcome to Local Everywhere. Today we are going to talk about Oversoul Theater, and you're going to have to pronounce your name because it's hard for me to do that.
Oh, no problem. My name is Mualim, and
Okay.
I'm the co-founder and artistic director of Oversoul Theater Collective.
So tell us about Oversoul Theater Collective and why you started it.
Okay. Well, there were actually several of us who started it. We were all creatives, if you will, theater people, dancers, visual artists, musicians, filmmakers, and basically we were all people of color, African American, Afro-Caribbean, Cape Verdean, Native. We had Wampanoag, Nipmuc, Narragansett folk. And what we were finding on Cape Cod were the opportunities to actually participate in the arts were very limited. Um, I guess due to uh, ethnicity, etc. But then the other thing that we found was that the opportunity to participate in and present arts that were culturally relevant to our own stories and experiences were virtually non-existent. And what we decided to do was take matters in our own hands and create our own opportunities for presentation. So we created Oversoul Theater Collective, and our original presentations were coffee house performances at a cafe in Hyannis called the Prodigal Son, and also across the street at a larger performance space called Richard's Gallery. We would present plays, we would do poetry readings. At the Prodigal Son, we had a monthly program called The Talking Drum, which was coffee house presentations of poetry and jazz and short drama. And eventually, actually, The Talking Drum became a monthly live broadcast on Cape Cod Community Television. And
Oh, nice.
from there ended up being rebroadcast all across Massachusetts. And
Mm-hmm.
that was an interesting time because basically the setup of the show was the camera went on at at 8 o'clock, and whatever happened between 8 and 9 o'clock ended up on the air.
Oh, wow.
And
So
we,
it was on community TV?
yeah, yeah. And
Okay.
as you can imagine, with artists of various temperaments, we ended up with some interesting unintentional footage and some,
Mm-hmm.
some great
That's the
performances.
best kind, wouldn't you
Oh
say?
yeah. Oh yeah, most definitely, most definitely. I'm one of I'm, huge fan of Saturday Night Live and used to love all the stories about show of shows that was all
Mm-hmm.
also live television. And of course, The Honeymooners was live television, and getting to see the rebroadcast and realizing, oh, they weren't expecting that line, or ooh, that person forgot their line, and watching them work their way through it.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Mm-hmm.
ooh, this person introduced a line that wasn't in the script and it has everybody cracking up, and now they're trying to get themselves back to, so enjoying that kind of thing, this kind of show like fit my sense of humor. But
Uh-huh.
this is what we were doing on the Cape. And then in 97, we started doing theater and poetry. Oh, I should mention in Mashpee, we had a youth theater program. And it was a youth theater program that utilized a curriculum called the New African Method, where we were using improvisational theater to improve reading, writing, and critical thinking skills
Mm-hmm.
with young people. And that became one of the first programs that we brought to New Bedford in 1997 when we started then doing Oversoul Theater in New Bedford. In the Boys and Girls Club, we had the New Bedford Youth Theater program, and then started also doing our presentations and performances out of Gallery X, which
Mm-hmm.
located on William Street. And then I got the opportunity to go to New York to do theater and music down off Broadway in the Village. And so I ended up bringing one of the Oversoul programs to New York. So out of the Point CDC, which is located down in the South Bronx, we had the Urban Expressionist Lab, which was an Oversoul Theater Collective New York program project. And we did youth theater and adult theater and creative writing workshops and produced a number of plays. And Oversoul was briefly shuttered back around 2013, 2014, and started operating again in 2018, this time under the auspices of another organization called Songkeepers LTD. And we brought a lot of our performance programs back. We have a couple of touring plays, we have touring concerts, and we also have taken a residency at the Underground Railroad Cafe in New Bedford, which is down in the Bay Village area. And one of the things we love is that the Underground Railroad Cafe actually had been a way station on the Underground Railroad, so tying to that piece of history. But out of there, every month we do on the second Thursday, we have a jazz and blues jam, which is really a musician's workshop in disguise. We, on the third Saturday, do a program called the Thump and Soul Session, which is underground dance music, house music, Afrobeat, rare groove, breakbeat, and just an opportunity to bring the community together and celebrate and dance to world music. And in January, we're going to start a program called the Grio's Corner, which is basically sort of an open mic writers workshop sort of connection. We try to make our workshops more experiential than just purely classroom experiences.
This really sounds wonderful. Now, what you're doing, is it being done in other parts of the country?
Oh, it is. A lot of it's being, a lot of it's being done. We definitely did not reinvent the wheel. Um,
Okay.
one of the big things, it's funny because some of the things that we do, we now see people doing it and even gave it a name. Oversoul has always been sort of a theater, we referred to ourselves as a guerrilla theater company because we would set up and do theater wherever and
Mm-hmm.
theater in all kinds of spaces. And what we're now seeing is that there's this movement for art in public space, which when we read the description, that's what we were doing. Art in public space. We would set up in lobbies of state buildings and, and municipal buildings, and we would set up in parking lots, and we would set up at festivals and on street corners, and we would set up in museums and libraries. And this is basically what art in public space is. So, we're continuing that. This summer, our underground dance music project, Wamptronica, we did a tour called The Session, where we were taking portable sound systems and solar generators and setting up in parks and turning parks into dance parties and turning street corners into dance parties. And we're going to be doing it again this coming summer.
How did you come up with your name?
Wamptronica? Well, with that, it
No,
was
the name of the theater group.
Oh, okay. Oversoul Theater Collective. It relates to some of our studies in the esoteric, where we talk about the fact that the oversoul is that guiding spirit that comes back to earth in human form. And that's very similar to what happens in theater when an actor takes on a character and transforms into that character. That character is the actor is the oversoul in that character becomes
Right.
the living form. So we Oversoul Theater Collective and our original motto was life's a stage. Taking a little bit of a play on Shakespeare's All the World's a
Right.
Stage.
Right. So you have done YouTube videos, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Would you like to share one with us?
Well, certainly. Give you context. This is more my work as a musician and a singer-songwriter. This is actually a music video that we made for one of my songs called Always Right There.
Okay, before we get started with that, you raised something that I found very interesting. Critical thinking. Um, Not many people really know how to critically think in this society.
Oh
Now,
yeah.
do you teach children or do you teach adults also?
Both. Both. I'm actually 21 years in as a professor of English and Black Studies at UMass Dartmouth.
Oh, okay.
But I started out working with, middle school and elementary school and high school age students.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
And so I've run, what can I say? K K through grad school has been my classroom.
Oh, I see. So let's see one of your videos.
Alright, so this one is called Always Right There, and here we go.
Things have a way of writing themselves if you let them. Let opportunities pass and you'll regret them. I'm gonna take this time to lay it out on the line. Something that should be obvious could be why we both feel like always right there, but never the right time. Always right there in the back of my mind. Let me lean over and whisper in your ear. What we now see has always been right there. Always right there. Learning your groove and realizing I fit your move. I see in your eyes, you also know this to be true. The warm vibes from a single touch, something that I'll never get too much of. So let it be what we see. We both know it. Always right there, but never the right time. Always right there in the back of my mind. Let me lean over and whisper in your ear. What we now see has always been right there. Always right there. Always right there, but never the right time. Always right there in the back of my mind. Let me lean over and whisper in your ear. What we now see has always been right there. Always right there.
Alright. Did I lose you? Hi there. Okay. Oh, cool. Thank you. Thank you.